you can, they call it muscle popping it, where you can just basically stick it in a muscle and you won't be sick, but you won't get any of like the good rush feeling. Right. And so like, dude, I would sit there for hours digging into myself trying to do this. And then it got to the point where I'd shoot in my palms. There'd be in between my fingers. You could go straight down and hit like super small ones. The place that hurts the worst is the palm right here. If you shoot up in there, and then dude, we'll put it this way. There's not a vein in my body I haven't hit. Forehead, neck, doesn't matter.
Wow.
If you need to find a vein, you find a vein.
Lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, started doing drugs, bad combo.
But people are like shocked or think I'm doing it for attention because they don't actually believe that I have like anxiety.
Because I do really feel like I feel better about myself when I take care of myself.
Inherently social creatures, we absolutely need other human beings in order to live.
Question, but this one's I wasn't going to ask this. I don't know. Okay, is it just me, or do you have like a little bit of swelling to your hands?
Yeah. So I shot, one of my primary places to shoot heroin was my hands, and so I have so your veins.
Do you have bad circulation through your
have
hands?
Bad return, and so the veins get the blood there, but the arteries don't get it back, or is that reversed?
I'm supposed to know these, but I think you're right.
So I have bad blood return.
Yeah, let's say bad blood return.
So I have Mickey Mouse hands forever now.
Because, because of my job and what I do, I just notice everyone's posture and the way they stand and stuff like that. And so I always notice inflammation in the skin and things. And when we first met, I noticed your hands. And I was like, well, maybe I'm just making that up.
No.
And so...
And they're actually good today, to be honest.
Well, that first time we met, they were kind of swollen.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of worried about it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like I don't wonder how his circulation's going. You know what I mean? And then I was like, I wonder if that's from drugs. And then I was like, well, are you going to ask him? And then I was like, well, he said I could ask him anything.
There's no question that's off limits.
So you're shooting up like in between your fingers. Is that what does that?
I definitely had. So when you started, you have the veins on top of your hands, and so I was hitting there, and then eventually your body tries to protect itself. So your veins basically recoil into your body trying to protect themselves, and so then you're fishing for them, and so then you get to the point where these are now gone, and so then I start looking here, and there's some big ones here, but these veins are different than these ones, if that makes sense.
And the way they work?
They're bigger, but you can't go as deep in them. And so you kind of get them on the surface. And so imagine you feel the worst you've ever felt in your entire life, right? And you know that this one shot, this little bit of medicine is going to take all that away, right? Now put yourself to where you're like sweating because you're so dope sick and you're shaking and you can't do anything.
And you're trying to hit this
But now you can't find a vein.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can, they call it muscle popping it, where you just basically stick it in a muscle and you won't be sick, but you won't get any of like the good rush feeling. Right. And so like, dude, I would sit there for hours digging into myself trying to do this. And then it got to the point where I'd shoot in my palms. There'd be in between my fingers. You could go straight down and hit like super small ones. The place that hurts the worst is the palm right here. If you shoot up in there, and then dude, we'll put it this way. There's not a vein in my body I haven't hit. Forehead, neck, dick, doesn't matter.
Wow.
If you need to find a vein, you find a vein.
Why was your preference your hands? Because it's easy?
It was just the next.
It's just like
you start with the arms. Once those are gone, now we're here.
Oh, okay. So you started with your arms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody starts with their arms.
Is that really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest?
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be one person out there that's
sure.
Really start with arms,
whatever, guy.
Right. 99.999% of people start going here.
Well, in my mind, I was like, he started with his hands. And in my mind, I was like, why didn't he start with his arms? Like, that was my first thought. Yeah. Anyways.
And then it gets to bottom of the feet, back of the calves. Didn't matter.
Oh, man. So like,
So you want to talk about bad hands then? Like, so then it got to the point where I wasn't going into a vein, but I could get under that first layer of skin and pull back and still get blood. And so you'll know you're missing a vein because it'll hurt, right? Like you'll know it as soon as you do it. This, I wouldn't be in a vein, but I was still getting blood when I pulled back, but I wouldn't get the really, really good rush feeling. I'd get a little bit of it. So basically I was like shooting up in my epidermis or whatever. I wasn't hitting a vein, but I was still getting blood. And so that just caused my fucking hands to, bro, they were like 3 times this size.
Wow.
In addiction.
It's crazy.